All right. Welcome back to Taking a New Approach podcast. I am so grateful to be back again, to be sharing with you guys. Thank you to you beautiful souls out there who are subscribing, who are listening every day, who are leaving comments and all those good things. Thank you so much. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Please leave comments. And like I always say in the beginning of this, it is a reason why you clicked on this video. The universe does not make mistakes. It does not make mistakes. It is something here for you, and it is up to you to get that information so that you can improve yourself and move along in your journey as you're trying to become your highest self, as you're trying to manifest all that you desire in this world. And I am just thankful and appreciative that you are even listening this far, if you got this far, right? Because you don't have to. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here giving me your time. So like I start off all my podcasts, we're going to take in some deep breaths to center ourselves, and then from there, I'll get into the topic. All right, so on 3, I'm going to count to 3. Take your deep breath. Release it, and then I'll take another one, and then I'll get into it, okay? So 1, 2, 3. And another one, 1, 2, 3. So hopefully you're centered now, you feel good, and let's get into it, okay? So I was thinking to myself, because I was trying to figure out some things that I wanted to really talk about, okay? And I wanted to make sure, like, I just don't like just pumping out stuff just because, you got to keep it up, the algorithm and all this other stuff. No, I want to really deliver things that I'm comfortable with, that really resonates with me, and that I know that people want to hear, okay? So I want to talk to you today about failure. And I was thinking to myself, because I watch a lot of motivational things. I meditate when I can. I'm not perfect, right? That's the whole point of the journey. No one is perfect. I read books. I read books a lot. And just the whole growth, right? Because this is all about growth. Like, it's not really about the results. Like, yes, the results are great, but if you're focused on the growth and you're constantly focused on that, then you will reach higher levels of the results that you're looking for. And I wanted to talk about failure because I see that even within myself, and I'm going to tell you a story about myself, is that you have to stop allowing it to paralyze you. Stop allowing failure to paralyze you. And I was thinking about this because I was thinking about how just our perspective, like, we fail every day. Like, you don't respond the best way you possibly can in every situation. I don't know one person who could honestly say, like, they have never gotten the answer wrong ever in school, or they always got the best answer, to always the best advice to tell that person, whatever they're going through, right? Like, we face failure constantly. And especially if you're not where you think you should be, right? Or you feel that you are where you should be, right? You've already been failing, and it's nothing wrong with that. See, it's the word failure and what we have attached to it, right? The energy behind it. But really, it's just divine moments for you to realize where you need to be. So many of us are fighting against ourselves, trying to live a life of expectations to other people. And that's why you're struggling, or you feel like you're struggling, because you are where you're supposed to be. Like, understand that. Like, I think that's not stressed enough, right? Like we're so conditioned and people want to just go off of their experiences. And I'm not here to tell you that your experiences aren't valid. However, I would say if you have not done the research to understand how your experiences are created, then you cannot say that your experiences are the only thing that is truth to how life is actually working and how it actually works. Understand that. If you don't understand that your thoughts create your reality, and I know you're hearing it a lot more and people trying to sell you things all the time. Like I see it a lot. People have commercialized the whole spiritual aspect. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, why can't you make money off of helping other people? Like, people make money off of destroying other people. It's like, why would you have a problem with that? That's the backwards thinking that we have in society. But when it comes to you accomplishing and becoming your higher self, you cannot allow your old beliefs to stop you. And that's because of your failure, right? That failure piece. Like, I don't want to fail. Like, I want to just get it right. Like, in my mind, I'm a perfectionist. Like, I want to make sure I know how to do things. Like, even with this, like, prime example, I'm recording this. But I probably, by the time you get to hear this, I probably recorded this like, what's today? September 30th, 2019. I've been recording for a year because I have allowed failure to paralyze me. Because I have been concerned with, well, I want to make sure, the thumbnail looks good. I want to make sure that, I'm saying the right things. I want to, and I realized that you can't please everyone. Someone is always, you can have the best, you can have like literally the best knowledge ever. Break it down and they agree with you and they still find something wrong. I can't allow, like, somebody might say, oh, well, you got to work on your audio. Understandable. Oh, why I can't see your face, or why can't I, or this or that, right? And if I keep allowing those things of what will be considered failure to me, right, then I will never get to where I need to be. I'm already where I'm supposed to be. And you have to realize that you can't allow, you can do whatever you want, but you should not allow failure to paralyze you. So many of us, I said us, not you, like standing on my high, podium, preaching down low. Like, no, so many of us have allowed our lives to not be filled with more joy, happiness, peace, gratitude, because we're so afraid of the failure. Like, I was literally just like washing my clothes and I was thinking to myself, like, man, like, we fail every day. You don't take the perfect step every day. You stumble sometimes. Some of you might have broken a bone or something. You didn't be like, oh, I broke a bone, so I can never, ever walk again, or I can never, ever do something again because I've done that. Like, no, you get up and you keep going. You don't stop. And if you allow that failure, like, I understand. Trust me, I understand. I'm an introvert. I'm an empath. Life path 7. It does get hard sometimes. And I understand how that the inner mind works. It does, it can really do a number on you. That's why it's so important to master yourself. It's so important. If you're not mastering your mind, if you're not understanding how to get the most out of yourself every day, then somebody else will do it for you. That's why we all feel like, oh, you can't trust people. You can't do this. Oh, you shouldn't trust people. Or, oh, I want to point the finger at this person because they're the ones who's making me sad. They're the ones who are making me the victim. It's not true. You're a victor. You're not someone who's just going aimlessly in life. I know sometimes that's how it feels. I know sometimes that's how we're treating ourselves, but we need to start to love ourselves better. If you're suffering from low self-esteem and you're still getting up every day, well, you're already winning, because you didn't let the failure of not having high self-esteem yesterday stop you from waking up the next day. It's very simple things. Like, we make life harder than it really needs to be. And when you can really start to break it down into just simple things like that, simple things where it's just like, you know what? Yesterday I didn't eat right. Yesterday I didn't do this. Yesterday I didn't do that. But you know what? I'm still here. I'm still thinking about my goals. I'm still thinking about how I could be better, how I can move differently. Then you're already winning. No one is 100% correct in life. No one. I don't care whether you're thinking superficially about just the money, the cars and all that, or you're just trying to be as perfect as possible in terms of the things money can't buy, in terms of your character and your spiritual growth and your spiritual practices. No one is perfect. Right now, there's billionaires who's making money and losing money every day. You hear people all the time talk about opportunities they have missed, but they are still seen as successful. Think about, like, I watch sports, right? And even if you look at, like, football, right? Football. Let's just use football. If you don't watch it, that's fine. But the New England Patriots are considered the gold standard. About 5-6 championships. No one talks about game 3 of every season that they won in the regular season, when maybe somebody missed a block, where they had a turnover, or they got a penalty called against them. That's considered failure. Failure is anything that doesn't go the way you planned. Essentially, that is failure. Right? They don't be like, oh man, we had problems in the game. I guess that means we can't go to the Super Bowl. Oh man, I snapped on that person. Guess I can never ever be a good person ever again. It's crazy how we allow failure. Like, in certain instances, we will not even see that as failure and keep going. But then when it comes to the big things, we're like, oh, well, I don't want to do that, because if that happens, then you attach it to yourself. See, that's what it means to be when you have to be in the world, but not of the world. You stop attaching yourselves to your results. Too many of us, myself included, we attach our value to what our results are. I understand. I might be doing this and it might never be what I expect it to be. It's okay, but I feel good. And that's what life is about. You came here to experience goodness, that blissfulness, that just pure joy. Like, why can't that be enough? Why can't just waking up and being able to smile and be happy and have a good laugh just be enough? Like, everybody keeps talking about all the time. Oh, I don't want no fake people around me. I don't want, I don't care about what people say. Like, I'm just getting to the bag and that's it, and taking care of my family and all this other stuff, right? All this other stuff. Oh, if they're not down for you, then you don't need them around. But somehow all of our lives and our misery is based off of all that stuff we say we don't want around us. Think about that. Meditate on that. How many times have you, like, if you go and buy the nicest of clothes, how many of you really know about the fabric that you're buying with the clothes are made of? and could tell me why you like it so much. Besides, oh, it makes me look good in it. And it also is a status symbol. If you really being honest, because everybody be like, oh, I do know what it, you know the basics, but you don't know the basics of silk. You don't really know in depth. Oh, why are you wearing silk? Oh, because it's this and it's really good for this. And, and also I like the design of how they make it. Like most people aren't doing that because most of us are living a lie. We're paralyzing ourselves from the failures, and the failures come from our beliefs that we're holding in our subconscious mind, that we're not good enough, that we'll never be worthy, that we are only worth whatever we have on the external. Why can't you judge a person based on the energy they bring? Why can't you base your life off how many times you laughed? How many times you're entertaining God's best angel? I love that line, which is love. How many times can you, right? Like, why can't you base your life off of the gratitude you have? You're paralyzed by failure because you're not satisfied with where you are. You have to get satisfied with where you are. That is the goal. Like, that's the greatest thing I learned. Was that until you get satisfied with where you are, until you are satisfied with what you have, you cannot have more. You cannot have more. And even if you're given more, you won't be satisfied with it. You won't even know how to enjoy it. You won't know how to celebrate it. Because when you get out of the mindset that, oh, like this is do or die, instead of just realizing, this is a part of the growth that I need to go through. You're going to make some mistakes. I'm going to probably make some typos on the description box, right? I'm probably going to not post, a link or something. Or I might, mess up on the editing. Like, it's all right, though. But what if even messing up on that one video, somebody really gained something that really changed their lives? Or maybe they post it and it helps somebody else. Or it just makes someone feel like they're not alone in the same way of this thinking. I'm here to inspire. I'm not here to judge. I don't agree with everything, but it is what it is. Everybody is allowed to do what they want. And even now, like me saying this, you still could be paralyzed by failure. That's fine. Like, that's your life. I can't control you. I'm not trying to control you. I just want people to really see that they really can create their own reality. And it's not with this super you see sometimes, manifest this very quickly and do this very quickly and all this. And it's cool. Like, some of that stuff works. But sometimes you might not be in the position where it works right now for you. And I want you to be okay with that if it doesn't, and not be like, oh, well, I tried this method and I don't have the Bentley in my backyard right now. Like, oh, I tried this method and my business did not make $10 million this year. Or I tried this and, I don't feel all happy-go-lucky every day. I still feel a little depressed. But let's revel in the moments where you didn't feel depressed. Let's revel in the moments where you felt joy. You were able to have a nice laugh. You were able to recognize, like, hey, you know what? I'm going back in this bad mode of thinking. Let me focus back on what I truly desire. Those are great moments. Those are moments of success. Anytime you could do something differently or do what you plan on doing is success. It's not overnight. Everything is happening spiritually first. And it takes some time. It takes time. I've used this example all the time. Like when you plant something, you don't expect it just to grow the next day and be ready to be perfect. You have flowers, you don't go and get the seeds planted and be like, water it, let it sit in the sun for a day and come back like and throw it all away because you're like, it didn't grow. Like, no, you understand it's a process. A plant doesn't sit up there and gets frustrated that it didn't grow the next day. It's just a plant. It knows its potential. It knows who it is. And that's why we have to stop paralyzing ourselves with our failure or with failure or the thought of failure. Because we need to start to see we are enough. That we are worthy and deserving of whatever we desire. And sometimes what you think you desire is not really what you need. Please believe. I thank every single deity out there that is possible, right? That I didn't manifest certain things into my life right now. Because I understand that I probably wouldn't be ready for it. Probably wouldn't have the same appreciation of it. The same joy to really take it in and really feel like, okay, this was the next step. Enjoy where you are. And if you're not where you, and no one's saying enjoy misery. Like, oh yeah, if you're getting beaten right now in an abusive relationship, yeah, just enjoy it. Take the punch and be like, yeah, another one, please. Like, no, it's not a drink, right? Like, it's not a drink. But what I'm saying is that you have to learn, okay, if I put myself in this, I can get myself out of this. And I have to start to figure out how can I bring more joy into my life to get myself to move forward. How can I get myself to really understand, like, you know what? If I could think these dark thoughts, then I can also have the light ones come in as well. But see, so many of us want to just settle for being average, mediocre. Like I remember in high school, my French teacher, she used to get so mad at us. So mad. It was all boys school in Chicago on the south side and in the Hyde Park area. If you know, you know. And we were just like doing average work. Like we didn't care. We was like honors French. We were like, I think we were like juniors or seniors or something like that. And she made us write a paper on why being mediocre was not okay. Why it's not okay. You're not born to be average. You were born to be great. I used to always implant that in my students' minds, especially third grade. Third grade, we didn't wake up to be average. We woke up to be great. And great is wherever you are. That is you. I don't care what they say great is supposed to look like. Great is you. You. So if that means you stumble and you still working on being a better parent, well, you still great. Keep working. One less time that you yelled at your child. Oh, look at that. Ooh, somebody about to be voted #1 parent in the world. Let's get it. Right? Let's get it. Because it still matters. Because all of us are focused on one failure that has happened to us, and we have allowed that to impact us, but somehow we don't think that the one things that are going well in our life won't impact us the same way, in a better way. Why is that? Sometimes we have to get outside of our minds. Like that's why I always was like, I've done something about being lonely versus being alone. And if you truly want to manifest and really get to your higher self, you have to take time by yourself. It's a balance. Like I'm learning that. Like I have to learn to get out more. I'm not a big person to get out a lot. I can if I want to. I used to. But now I just realized like I'm going to enjoy this. I'm not going to sit up here and torture myself with, oh, I should do this. I should do. No, I'm going to enjoy where I am. And when it's time to happen, divine timing is everything. And it will happen. I get out every once in a while. Do I want to get out more? I really enjoy my alone time. That's how I become this person. And I understand that's how I feed my soul. That's how I feed my spirit. That is a part of being a Life Path 7. That is a part of what makes me me and makes me great. And I'm no longer going to sit up there and worry about, the failure of not having this many people in my circle, or the failure of seeing other people do this and that, and they're always around. Like, no, I don't need that. I'm going to focus on me. And you got to focus on you. And you have to stop focusing on allowing the thought of failure to paralyze you. It's not real. So what if it doesn't happen? There's a lot of things that won't happen. But see, if you attach to it, that's when you give it power. When you're not attached to it, it has no control over you. It's something right now that many of you are like, okay, you know what? I'm not you're not trying to be a world-class singer, right? And for you, if you never become a world-class singer, you don't give a damn. Because that ain't what you're trying to do. It's not what you're trying to do. Like, think about that. It has no effect on you. You're not going around moping like, I'm not a world-class singer. Oh my God, even though I can't sing and I don't have any ability or want to sing, I'm not a world-class singer. Like, no, you're not. Because you have no attachment to it. It has no value to you. But see, when we attached ourselves emotionally to things, see, that's when it becomes a problem. That's why they say, again, be in the world, but not of the world. Because when you attach yourself to these things, that's conditional. Things change. Just like your life, things have changed. Some of you have some people that's just negative Nancy's, and always it's something new. Life is always changing for the worse for them. But if everything can always change for the worse for you, can it change for the better? It's really about your perspective. You could say, people don't trust people. Or there are people that's cheating. There's people doing this. Or, men are this, women are that. This race that race this. Like, all of that doesn't matter. All you need to worry about is, how can I learn to master my mind? How can I start to feed my soul? Start to feed my spirit? Right? Like, I was thinking about this the other day, and it was like everybody, we for the most part, most people believe that they either have a spirit or a soul, right? Some people don't. Hey, that's on them. But most people, if I ask them, do you think you have a spirit or a soul? Most people probably say, yeah, right? So this is my question to you. And I was thinking, like, we do stuff for our body. We clean it. We make sure we don't harm it in certain ways for the most part when we're in a good mental condition, right? We make sure we work out. We do all these things for it. We make sure we feed it, whether it's good food or, greasy food, whatever it is that you're doing. But why don't we ever do anything for our soul or spirit? Can we even do anything for our soul and spirit? Think about it. And when someone always want to debate you on it, ask them that question. Have they ever meditated on it? Have they ever seek to answer that question? We're too worried about the outside noise. And that outside noise is what's paralyzing us. That's causing the thoughts of the failure. That's causing the failure. Because some of us are trying to be the outside when we need to be worried about creating what's good in us. Allowing the space for us to enter into this outer world. When you know who you are, you can't be deceived by what you're not. When you know who you are, you cannot be deceived by what you are not. But when you don't know what you are, that's when you are deceived by what you are not. Understand that. You are not failure. You didn't come here to fail. You can never fail. You show me a person who gets an A+ in life. You show me. And you're going to show me, and if you show me something, you're going to show me people who have been through something, who has transmuted that negativity or that pain into something great. It's time for us to start to master who we are. And you cannot do that by allowing failure to paralyze you on whatever you want to do. Even if you want a better financial situation, stop allowing the failure of, oh, well, I might not make it to that point. Who cares? But if you end up in a better situation than you are now, how did you fail? If you were sitting up there and you're like, man, I wish I could travel just a little bit more. I wish I could put away some money just for my kids, for college or whatever it is, or just to start this little business I want to do, or just to have some money to do some miscellaneous things. And you get to the point where you are able to do that. Not all the time, but 60, 70% of the time. How is that bad when you couldn't do it at all? But because, the other 20, 30%, 40% that it happened, that it didn't happen, now you're going to allow that to take over the whole 100? Come on now. Our default is love. There's no lacking in love. It's only abundance. It's only abundance. It's only a prosperity. It's only gratitude. And when you fall short of exhibiting this love, however you express it, because you can express it in many different ways. I'm not here to tell you how to express it. But however you express it, sometimes when you fall short of it, anger comes. That's okay. All right, had a hiccup. Keep it moving. You think Burger King or, McDonald's, all these like restaurants where people mess up orders and stuff like that. You think McDonald's like, man, we got to shut down because we messed up an order in all our places. Like, no, they keep moving. They don't even think about it. We have to start to minimize failure in simple ways of thinking about it like that. Like, okay, well, this is just a hiccup. I don't care if you go to jail. It's a hiccup. It's a hiccup. You get arrested. Hiccup. Well, okay. Just a slight, it might take you a little bit more doing this or that, but it's still possible. And if you don't believe it's possible, then you are never going to get to where you really desire. And that's the goal of this. This is to bring harmony within you. This is to bring you peace. This is to bring you happiness. And let you determine what that is for you. It can be expressed differently, but it always gives the same result. You name me one person that was like, that you like, that was peaceful towards you, and you was like, man, I hate this person because they peaceful towards me. But you like them. I hate that you're so peaceful. That's why I always hang out with you. I hate that you make me laugh. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't stand you. This is why I'm always around you. Because you make me feel good. Not no one, never. Not one soul says that. That's just not actively trying to just be negative. I understand. Hate is a great commodity nowadays, right? To be the asshole is a great thing. People cherish it. People love just want to be mean and negative. I see it all the time online. I see it in the comments, especially when you get those trigger sections where you're talking about people debating on what matters the most, when all of it is just a facade anyway. All of it is keeping you paralyzed, creating that failure within you to think that you can fail. There's no such thing. And that's what I had to realize, that I was paralyzed by failure because I was too attached to the value. I was attaching my value to the results and too worried on the outside when everything is already within me. Until you are happy on your journey, that's where you need to be. Like, that's why we're doing everything. That's why you think the way you think. That's why you're mad and frustrated or whatever you are. That's why you are the way you are. It's because you wish you had more happiness in your life. That you wish you had more peace in your life. You wish you had more abundance in your life. But you already have it. But it's up to you to figure it out for yourself. What does abundance look to you? What does it look like to you? Because for me, it's different. To others, it's different. To some people, it's having 10, 15, 20, 100 million, $1 billion. To other people, it might be having really genuine, good-hearted friends around them. To other people, it might just be being able to have the time to do what they like. But you have to create this within yourself. You cannot attract what you desire if you're focused on what you do not want. I think it's called the law of reverse, if I'm not mistaken. And if you want to correct me, you can in the comment section. I don't mind. Go ahead. That failure ain't gonna paralyze me. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna paralyze me. But I was reading, I think it's called the law of reverse effect. And basically it's like, if you concentrate on that thing that you don't want to happen, no matter how much you do for it not to happen, if you constantly are focused on it, it's going to happen. So if you are already bitter and you like men ain't nothing or women ain't nothing, and especially now it's so divisive nowadays, like if you constantly think that people are bad, then that's what you're going to constantly get. No matter how much you be like, oh, well, I read my books, I build altars, I do the magic work, I do all this stuff, I'm grateful and all this. But if you constantly, truly in your subconscious mind believe that people are bad, that being mean and swearing and stuff, like, I ain't going to act like I don't swear. But at the same time, I'm conscious of what that can bring to me. I am conscious that, it's not just cool. Like, I'm definitely going to do another podcast about how we got to get the savagery out. Because it's crazy how many people, think that being a savage is something that's great. We're above that. I'm not going to sit up here and worry about what a savage will think, or being a savage is great. That's where your fear comes in. So in order for you to stop paralyzing yourself with this failure, first thing you got to do is get clear on what you actually desire in your life. That's number one. Number two, you got to put in the work. The work can just be mental work and being conscious of you and your thoughts. As simple as that. That's action. working on your thoughts, working on building up your beliefs, releasing those beliefs, right? Meditation is great. Doing something every day for yourself towards that goal, right? Like, you got to be a student of life. Like, it's really that simple. Like, those who are where they desire to be and they're happy with their lives and they truly are getting the most out of their lives and feel fulfilled with what they're doing, is because they put in the work. They are students of life. They are students of themselves. There's no way around it. There's no magical pill. It doesn't mean you got to spend 900 hours a day to do it. And I'm going to talk about this other thing, the 10-minute rule, because it's been phenomenal for myself. And it's just a different way of approaching things. Okay? But that's really what I wanted to say to you guys, okay? So take those steps, use them. If you need any help, you can sign up for the coaching services. You can just email me. You can write in the comments. I will respond. Please like, share, subscribe, because that's how I'm able to get this message out to more people and to inspire people so that they can be their higher self. And you're also helping as well. Like, it doesn't always have to be you doing everything. You sharing this helps the world be better, because it's putting out more positivity. It's someone whose purpose is to do the work. Like, you don't have to go and try to change everybody, right? I'm not trying to change everybody, but if my words can help someone and you can help me spread that, you're doing a great thing. Just with the likes to get me up in more recommendations. Like, that's like, people think they have to do these grand things to affect change on this planet. No, all you got to do is something simple. You ain't even got to donate. Thank you to those who do. Donations do help me be able to continue to do this and push towards now making this more of something that I can do more full time. So if you can donate, thank you. I appreciate it. So I'm just grateful, and I want you to know that there's no failure within you. And once you figure out who you are, you cannot be deceived by what you are not. So I love you. You are more than worthy. You are enough. You will get there. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. So take care. Keep going. Reset yourself, even if today wasn't the greatest up till now. Make the rest of it great. And I'll talk to you on the next episode. Peace.